Irita. Today with our beautiful women's style expert, world's sweetest angel, and my best friend Rajdeen. We are going to talk about the left and up quadrant in our 4 essence system.
Very exciting.
It's very exciting. So in today's video, I'm going to give you a little bit of like a refresher on this quadrant. Then we're going to show you a bunch of celebrities and talk about their aesthetic and look and how they represent the left up thing. And then we're going to give you a little bit of styling tips and commentary, and also talk a little bit about the archetype that falls into this quadrant. So, you may want to kind of like skip ahead to that even if you kind of get bored about the celebrities.
Yes. Yeah, so exactly, if you feel like you've got kind of like the more basic stuff about where the celebrities fit in and how you match up with the celebrity and how different places in the different quadrants differ, you can skip towards the end where we discuss some of the archetypes and the more general tips.
Yeah, more general tips and tricks, so to say. Okay, so just as a refresher, so our first kind of distinction in the system is between the left and the right, which is kind of your core energy, so to speak. And our keywords for the left are sensual, intriguing, enveloping, gravity, elemental, Gaia, and the lost girl. So basically this is about as we talked about before, these are just words that point to the bigger reality, which is difficult to capture, but it's really about you having this energy field that really brings people into you and into your space.
Yes.
So that's kind of your styling is also meant to kind of reveal this kind of sensual, magnetic, enveloping aura, so to speak, that you have. And then the next modifier on that is our up versus down. And our up keywords are mysterious, extravagant, glamorous, persona, dramatic, effort, intimidating, the queen bee, so to speak.
And this is the way you filter your essence. So the left determines your essence, and those are the concepts to capture your essence. And then the upness here is the way in which your outfits can filter your essence in a good way.
Yeah, how you best present your leftness to the world.
Exactly.
So for the left up, we have chosen kind of some keyword combinations we think really reflect these ladies, and that's this dramatic plus gravity. So an outfit that is, really literally dramatic and bringing attention to you. Sensual and glamorous, so really celebrating the body and your physical presence in the body with a touch of glam, a little bit of extra. And the final one is elemental and intimidating.
Yes.
Which is, representing the elements and, this kind of raw nature power and just adding some intimidation factor. Yeah. That's a good summary.
It's a very good summary, and it's so good.
Okay, and then we have already placed 4 celebrities in our quadrant in our first video, and that was Florence Welch. We have Jennifer Lopez here, we have Rihanna here, and we have Kate Blanchett here. And I think they are great representatives, and they're also a good thing to start with. Is I just want to say that it's really not, whenever we're talking about this, it's really not just about the clothes these women are wearing, but it's really about the human being as a whole and their self-presentation. So it's about the fact that these women have this intimidating elemental sensuality, gravity, and that they really present themselves in a way to craft this kind of dramatic, intriguing persona, dramatic, mysterious persona. And so here you get to see some of their very cool up left
outfits that they look great in.
Okay, and now we're going to start with some additional celebrities.
And the first celebrity we want to look here is Camila Cabello, and we think she's left up. We think these are some outfits in which she looked great in. This left up outfit. We think these have very much this intriguing, enveloping, and gravity feel to them, while simultaneously coming off as being mysterious, extravagant, glamorous, and displaying a persona, right? So we think this is just her looking very, very good. Here are outfits which we think she looks a bit less good in. These are outfits which are also on the left. So they also have this kind of centrality to the intriguingness factor, the enveloping variable, but we just don't think they're sufficiently up for her. So we think they come off as a bit too approachable, a bit too much understated, and a bit too much intuitive. And these are outfits which we also think she doesn't look her best in. And obviously these people are like beautiful celebrities, so they're gonna look good in many stuff. But you know, if you just compare this to the first outfit, we think the first slide, we think it's a clear difference. But the problem here is that she's too far to the right in many of these outfits. And I think this is interesting because if you go back to the previous slide, we think it's quite clear that she looks better in these outfits than she does in these outfits. And the reason for that is that it's, as we have stressed many times before, it's more important that you're correct in terms of your essence.
Yeah, the left versus right.
The left versus the rightness than it is in the way in which you filter your left versus rightness.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and we think she is quite far left and quite far up. As you saw from the previous slide, which is just that she can't really go very much to the right. The right outfits look kind of weird on her, and we think she's really at her best when there's a lot of like extravagance and dramatic and mystery coming off from her.
Okay, and then next we're going to talk about Cardi B. So I would say Cardi B is a great representative for the up left quadrant. So here are just some of her like very extravagant looks, and I just think like, you know, I mean, these looks are, yeah, I would say extremely extravagant and glamorous. And Cardi B as a person just has, I mean, she only presents herself through like a persona, is, you know, yeah, it's very like distant, you know, and at the same time, she definitely is like dressing to be very intriguing, to really bring the eye into her looks, basically. I just want to show this picture because this is her like going to court.
The most serious she can be.
Yeah, this is, so I think that's just like funny to me. And here she is in like some more casual outfits, because Cardi, I would say she doesn't really even do casual. It's just more like she kind of exists in this, you know, very glamorous, extravagant persona. So it's not even about saying she looks worse in these outfits. It's really more about like, especially in the two left looks, it's more like Cardi B is not really being represented. I mean, she just looks like an attractive rich lady, but it's like the Cardi B factor is kind of like lost, so to speak. Even though I think these are actually like, they all looks and colors and everything that looks cute on her. So we think that she's very far to the left. We think she really is like very, like she really has this extreme gravity as a person where she naturally really draws in the eye and the attention, and she's so intriguing, very sensual, very elemental, the lost girl, but not super far up. It's really more about playing with this gravity and developing energy for her.
She just needs to go like sufficiently up so there's a persona.
Yeah, exactly. That's all she needs.
She doesn't need to like envelop her persona in like mystery and extravagance to the same extent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then we have Angelina Jolie. And yeah, we think she's also one of these left up celebrities. We think these are outfits which all looks like great in, right? It's just like, you know, your eyes are really like drawn to her here. Like if you saw this person even standing among other celebrities at the red carpet, your eyes would be drawn to this person to a significant extent. I think these outfits are also interesting because these are like displays of how like the left up person can dress for fancy occasions, right? It doesn't have to be all like white cocktail dresses and like, you know, pale blue flower dresses. These like, there are ways to dress like for these types of occasions if you're like left up, and these are some examples of that. Yeah, and here are just outfits which we think she looks worse in, right? I think if you start, these are, all of these outfits are kind of right, and some of them, the two exterior ones are kind of right down, and the one in the middle is like right up, and it just doesn't work for her. right? It's like you almost get a bit spooked out.
I'm really creeped out, like, honestly.
Yeah, looking at her here, you're like, what's going on? Why are you like?
Why are you dressed this way?
Why are you dressed like this? Why are you trying to like push yourself away? You know, why are you trying to like push yourself down? That's what I feel when I look at her in these outfits.
I also, and I'm honestly really confused because when I was collecting these pictures, people on the internet, they love her in these suits because she's the UN Goodwill Ambassador, and they love. But I honestly, I just get a bit afraid. Like, that's my take. Okay.
And yeah, so we think she's quite far up, and we think that we think she kind of knows this, right? Because like no matter how she dresses, if you look at her, she's gonna be like up outfits.
So effort,
as you just saw. But we think, and we don't think she's like super far to the left, right? We think like there's a reason why people like this like right up outfits on her, because she looks kind of good in them. Perhaps arguably she could like move right, like slightly into the right up quadrant, but we don't think that's like where she's at her best. We think she's really at her best in this like left up quadrant, but not super far left.
Yes, okay, that's exactly how we feel. Okay, and now we're going to talk about her. So she is an award-winning artist, and these are just some outfits. I chose her, and I wanted to show her and her outfits because I think she's a great representative of, again, using like not super complicated clothes to really craft the persona. I think one thing for her is she's like just literally kind of like hiding her body somewhat, which creates some like mystery. And you know, she has the sunglasses, and she has and she has this kind of like thick-soled shoes that I think for adding a little bit of extravagance, a little bit of kind of like effort, looking a little bit like intimidating and reserved, just a little bit of a persona, while definitely really, just bringing the eye into her. And then when I think she also has these much more extravagant, intricate looks for the red carpet. And I think that she does really like pull these off, and she looks very cool in them. And again, it's like, note how she doesn't just have the bright outfit, but she also will have like, little sunglasses, or her shoes are like bedazzled on the left, and she has, rings and stuff. So she's really committed to this full look, and I think she does pull it off. But I think it looks a bit more like she's like dressed up, rather than she's like, now she's finally able to like unleash her true style self. But she can definitely work these outfits as well. So we put her kind of quite, again, far to the left, but not super far up. Again, she just wants this kind of touch of effort, the touch of glamour, a touch of like the persona, rather than kind of seeming very cool and approachable.
Yeah, I think for her, she also really wants this like touch of intimidatingness.
Yeah.
That's like she dresses up to get that intimidatingness, and once she has it, she's like good. She's really good, and she can go like further with that intimidatingness, so it goes into extravagance and mystery also, but it's not her at her best.
Yeah, this is such a good way of putting it. Yeah. And I think it's a great explanation. I think it's like a really like reinforce why we have all these different keywords, because again, we're trying to put billions of women into 4 categories. And I absolutely agree that for her it is like intimidation. She wants to be a little bit spooky.
Yeah, and if you just look at the slide with all of them, I think you can see that both like Cardi B and her, they want to go up so they get the persona factor, and they want to go up so they get the intimidatingness factor, and through that they can really like filter their intriguingness, their gravity, and their elementalness. But they don't want to go as far up as like Camila Cabello or Angelina Jolie so they get this like extravagant and mysteriousness factor. Because they could probably go towards that direction, which is not them at their best.
Yeah, because Cardi B is not mysterious.
Yeah, exactly. She's not.
But Angelina Jolie is very mysterious.
Very mysterious.
But spooky. Okay. What do we have here? Yeah, we have Jenna Coleman now.
Well, Jenna Coleman, we just think she's another celebrity that belongs to the left up quadrant. We think these are... So what's interesting about this lady is that she belongs in the left up quadrant, but she wears outfits that are closer to like the center, very much so. So these outfits, like especially, I think like... all of them are outfits where like if you strip away certain things from their outfits, they would be like right outfits, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But she really looks good when these extra things are there. So, for example, in the first outfit, this like red-blue belt. In the second outfit from the left, it's not the fact that it's only like a blue, like a blue floral dress, but it has this like golden florals. Also, all of these things like pushes it over to the left, because it adds this like touch of elementalness, and it adds this touch of like Gaia, really.
And intrigue also.
Yeah, and intrigue also, and that really works very, very well for her compared to other outfits. We don't have her in like outfits in which she looks bad, but we just wanted to show you how it could be to be a left up person that is significantly closer to the center. Yeah.
And that's where we place her. And we think she can kind of like travel outside.
Yeah.
But we think, she's at her best when she leans into this kind of Gaia.
Yeah, exactly. And the elemental nature.
The elementalness. What elements would you assign to her?
What elements I would assign to her? I would... To me, she's a bit earthy and a bit fiery.
Yeah, I would also say very earthy and fiery.
Yeah.
Very intriguing lady. Okay, and now we just wanted to mention two more celebrities, because I know you guys really love to see some examples, so I just wanted to mention Shay Mitchell. And to me, what I like about her is I think she represents a bit more of this like glam. Like, I feel like for her, the upness is really through glamour. Mm-hmm. And I think like when she adds glamour to her looks, she just... Like, it's really like how you have like a fuzzy picture and you just zoom in and you suddenly see somebody so much more clearly. So that's why I wanted to add her. So if you kind of vibe with this more, glamour vibe, I would really look into her. But at the same time, very like enveloping lady.
And then finally we have Arden Cho. Yeah, and I think this is interesting because I think like initially many people wouldn't consider her left up. Mm-hmm. But if you just really like Google through her outfits, you will see that the outfits she looks best in are really these like left up outfits. They're not going to be super far up, nor are they going to be super far left. They're going to be kind of in the middle left and like just slightly up. But this is where she looks really good, we think, because she's ultimately she has a bit of persona to her. There's a dramatic flair.
Dramatic.
And that's what really allows her to filter her sensuality, because we think she's rather sensual, and also the fact that she's very intriguing.
A very intriguing lady. Okay, so that's kind of all of our celebrities. So now I want to just talk a little bit about the what I call like the archetypes which we place into this, and just talk a little bit about what we've seen here. So now we've kind of seen that this upper left women, we have shown you a lot of very like extra outfits, because we really think that is what the left up quadrant kind of represents. That's their gift to the world, is they are women who naturally like capture attention. You want to look at them. They are like receivers of attention at heart. And they're also like, they're really meant to be bringing that extra energy. So I put like in the very upper left, what I have here is I have like called her the Enchantress. And I think this is, the woman who is really extremely gravity elemental. Like I would say very like, and by elemental, again, we just mean really kind of this raw energy of the elements, really representing kind of this wild power. Very, very intriguing and completely enveloping, right? So I think that's why I really like enchants you by really completely bringing you into her world, while at the same time being so mysterious, completely untouchable, very intimidating. It's a person who is really powerful and who you are afraid of. So this is not about like you being witchy per se in your aesthetic. It's more about like women in this really like upper corner just have this full like power that they must embrace.
Yeah, and also I think it's a lot about the extravagance of being up there.
Yeah, it's very extravagant to be up there for sure. And then kind of the closer to the middle here, I have this big kind of shape, which I call like the trendsetter. And I'm referring to this not just trendsetter in terms of fashion, but I think these women are in general like people who are here to like break the rules a bit and to really invite other people to follow their lead. know, so it's kind of like the woman, but in terms of fashion, it is, you know, people who can get away with a lot of like wilder trends, you know, so, you know, like the neon colors, really like low cut things, etc. It's just a person we like to see experimenting and playing and like being really bold and making bold choices and really like leaning into this glamour, dramatic, like making an effort. And we just love to see them doing it, as long as they are really connecting to that sensuality of like their physical body, and not being afraid to be intriguing, to embrace that like gravity of the eyes on them, you know. I think that's very like special.
Very elegantly put.
Really, really special ladies, and I really love the left up ladies.
You put it so beautifully.
Thank you. I just love to see them in the world, and I really hope this video helps you like live a bit more in your left up, because we need more of that in the world, I think. So, okay, so clothing tips, just want to like say quickly, basically like you're here to bring attention to yourself, break some rules. People love to see that on you. Don't be afraid to take space. Using complex and interesting textures like leather, silk, velvet, fur, anything that creates visual excitement, right? Colors, like deep, intriguing colors, bold, bright colors, high contrast color schemes.
Elemental colors.
Elemental colors.
Yeah. Colors in alignment with the elements.
Absolutely.
I think works very well for these people.
And thinking about the element when creating the outfit.
Exactly. Thinking about the element when creating the outfit is like going to be very helpful, I think.
Don't be afraid to make it a little messy, a little bit complicated, you know, like slouch a bit, wear sunglasses at night, you know, add drama with your hairstyle, jewelry, you could do face piercings, you could do the fun nails, you could do like fun shoes and bags, like just give yourself this room for creativity within obviously what you feel safe doing, but give yourself some breathing space and use layers also to create mystery, drama, like sweeping lines, intricate patterns, especially in dark colors, again, bring in the eye. So these are just some like general styling tips.
Just some general clothing tips.
And
You got a question, right?
Yeah. We had a little bit of a camera mishap here, so it's just me to finish the video. And the thing I wanted to finish the video was by talking about what do I wear, how do I do casual if I'm in this left up quadrant, because the immediate response of many people viewing this video or listening to this advice would be like, well, I'm not Rihanna, I'm not Kate Blanchett, I'm not going to a red carpet event, and this is all completely impractical in my life. So first of all, what I want to say is that, of course, this like representations of what we think these celebrities are wearing to really express their brand identity in the best way are not meant to kind of be styling instructions for you in the everyday life necessarily, because your situations are just different than theirs. So of course, of course, everyday life is just a bit more casual by definition. But at the same time, what I want to say though is like, the system is not meant to kind of give you some sort of like law for what you have to wear, or to say you can't look good unless you're doing this. It's more about how you best represent yourself. So ultimately, you know, if you want to be really comfortable for whatever reason, or you need to be really comfortable and you want to wear like athleisure, or you just want to wear jeans and a t-shirt, the idea with the system is not that you're going to look bad in that. The idea with that is that that's just not really allowing you to express yourself to the fullest. So part of this is that if you do feel that you really identifying with the left up quadrant and you feel like this is the best way for you to present yourself in the world, then part of the thing to do, rather than first figuring out like, well, how do I do this in a casual way, is to figure out like, well, how can I actually bring more kind of drama, mystery, intrigue, extravagance, etc. to my everyday life? And how could I actually allow for that? What are some situations where I could actually create this persona and actually present myself more in this way? So that being said, here I have a little example I can show you of Camila Cabello, and here on the left and the right, she's just wearing kind of like jeans and a hoodie and jeans and a cardigan. And these are outfits that I think, if you wanted to see it from a kibby perspective, whatever, are generally compatible with her shape. Like they're showing off this like petite curved body she has, and she looks very cute, and I think the colors are okay on her. Everything is kind of fun. But I just think like the middle outfit to me is just like infinitely better. And I think like in this outfit, you could just notice how much more detailing she has. She has these like little glasses, and her hair is really like fussed in this special way. She has the scarf, this off the shoulder thing. She has a necklace. She has this like interesting like waistline of the belt. Over the belt, she has the belt. And then she also is wearing heels, and her sleeves have this kind of like cuff. So there's just really a lot of different elements that are coming together to create a very casual looking look for her, that where she just like bringing literally a lot of detailing and a lot of thoughtfulness. And what I say to a lot of the women I work with who are either left up or right up is a lot of the time up women give this really strong impression of like thoughtfulness or complexity, which is not to say down women are so simplistic, but it's more like you get out this impression of being very kind of like complex, thoughtful, and intricate. So when you dress in a more thoughtful, intricate way, it really suits you, and it doesn't at all feel like it's like, oh, it's too much. Camilla, she needs to tone it down and take off some pieces and just keep it simple. And Zoe Kravitz, I think, is another really great example of a person who actually wears clothing that is not so complex at all, but just like her like styling choices, the way she wears the clothes, the way she like plays with the contrast of the bigger shapes over her smaller body, or the way she uses really bold coloring, or like this the like really styled hair she has, or the little sunglasses. She's always creating a bit of kind of this intrigue, mystery persona. So I would look at her outfits. I think another person who does this well is also Vanessa Hudgens. I think she also creates a lot of kind of like casual looking or more simple outfits that have just a ton of detail, and so like really creating some sort of persona through that. Like Rihanna, I think, is an interesting example because she is very glamorous. That's kind of like her upness is the glamour. So you can see like when she wears these very casual outfits, she's still bringing glamour, whether she has high heels or she has some elaborate jewelry, or it's just something about, like she's like showing a lot of leg in the shorts. So I just feel like, again, I could spend so long picking these outfits apart and kind of talking about all of the different touches, but I think she can be good to look at how do you make just more kind of complexity. And I think that's the thing I just want to encourage you, if you do identify with this left up quadrant, it's like it's okay for you to be complex. As I talked about with this trend setting, it's okay for you to be different. It's okay for you to stand out. On you, it doesn't look like a costume. It doesn't look like you're trying too hard. It doesn't look weird. It just looks like you are like living your best life. And by giving yourself this permission to do that, by like attracting the gaze of other people to you and really celebrating yourself, you're bringing like so much, beauty into the world. But I just wanted to show these outfits on JLo because I think this is actually like funny to me, because I think these are kind of casual outfits on her, but as you can see, they're not really casual at all. I love these really thick shoes, and she has this like interesting textures, the glam sunglasses, but it's like she doesn't look like, overdone it. Obviously, like JLo going to lunch with her girlfriends or something is fancier than most of us going to lunch with their girlfriends, but it's like, you know what I mean? It doesn't look like, oh, these are super red carpet looks only for the most special occasion. And I think that you will find that this will be true for you also, is that there's just kind of a lot you can do to express yourself. So I just want to finish this video by saying that, if you feel like this is the quadrant where you're like drawn to, I would say part of your life story, as with that right up, is also like finding a life, creating a life where there are actually opportunities for you to be expressing yourself with fashion in this way, for you to actually create this kind of effortful persona who is somewhat intriguing or mysterious. And that's kind of like a beautiful way for you to express your gifts in the world. So I think that's, it's all the journey, and it doesn't mean you need to like run out out and buy some sort of Cardi B costume today, but it's about kind of creating this life where you are free to be more expressive and to really bring that kind of like extra touch of sensual glamour into the world. So thank you for watching, and let me know what you think. Bye!